Lies our religion, the lack hope we have, the Savior for restoration. I believe. Listen to Radio Biafra. We worship as the JUL It's the kingdom come. Listen to Radio Biafra. We worship the JUL it's a kingdom come.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're domiciled. This is Radio Biafra, USA 2. My name is Mazi Iyke. We're broadcasting live from New York City, but this morning the Australians are coming on board. So let us see if they are ready. If they are ready, they're ready to ramble. I'll give them the program immediately, hand it over to them, and I know they'll say the prayers for us before we continue. So let me see if they are ready. If they are not ready, then we have to get into the prayer. Can you join us now? Guys, are you ready?
Yes, we are ready.
All right, the line is open for you. Go ahead. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, Biafrans and friends of Biafra. My name is Mazi Iyke. I reside here in Australia. I welcome you to today's edition. Like we always come every Wednesday to talk to our people and to share our suffering and then a solution and comfort one another, because this journey requires a patient. Discipline is the key. But before I start saying anything, I would like to call upon the name of Chukwuka Abiyama, because this platform belongs to him. Therefore, we are seeking for belongs to him. That is his dwelling place. In ancient time, he used to live. He lived in that land with us. He dwell in that land with us. We call upon him anytime, any second. He just answered us. But because of our iniquities and the things we have done, he distanced himself away from us. That is why all these calamities start to befall upon us. That is why we sold our own kind. That is why we are slaves to the whole world. Because the anger of Chukwuka Abiyama upon us is heavy. And it's because of our stupidity. And we can see it displayed before our own two eyes today. By our own attitude. By our own behaviors. You can't go far away without seeing it. Without noticing it. Anything we see, we grab. We don't think twice. As a Chukwuka Abiyama will call upon you today. Like we always call upon your name, you answered us. It doesn't matter whenever we call your name. Because you say you are Chukwuka Abiyama of now. You are present in Ubua. Everyone can know better. Makanya hefi happy. Ye Jaka Wema, Ebu Mo, Yakaja Bisia, Yagi, Ezonia Bella. I went up no Bashin Katata. When I sigi, Butawakano di buggy, Yapokana Kiemea, Umazim Nnamdi Kanu, Aqua di buggy, Kidi Rosiano. Neko Panana Kia, Hibiria, you won in Nuya. Nibunka, you won Nibunka, Dike. When I go be able, when I am, when I see to Wakana in the Kalunda, it will be the principal officers. The Kalaha Mamiha, Nudoka, when I know God and deal I went to know Faka when I put his own better. The Quanum deal. Then I bump a Nezzy Arabia, his own better. Make Iyke, Neme, Nankene Mubu Josso, Mbido, Obodo and Yellow Haka, Napadoha, Cage do Mogacomo Galena. I went to see. Even a man Oboda Zoo. Call double roll 20 times, Nemen Oboda and Yellow Haka. Obu mmadụ ji na anya ya rana ọ na-akpụ ụlọ aka ihe ike na-eme ya maka na eze gị abụ ngị nwa okwu ọnụ ka anyị ji ọ dịghị ihe ọbụla anyị ji anyị nwere ntụkwasị obi na gị onye ka anyị ji wee nwee ike wee na-ekwusi okwu ike atụghị ụjọ ọbụla wee na-ayọ gị bịa nọnyere anyị ka na eze gị wee bịa mezuo na ndụ anyị a na ọ bụghị oge anyị nwụsịara wee na-ayọ ihe dị mmiri na nwee ntụkwasị obi na ị ga-aza anyị ekpere n'ụbọchị nke taata wee na-asị ise ise ise. Here Biafrans, there is quite a lot that is going on in our land, most especially the killing of our youths, of the Igbo youth in our land. We touched this yesterday, last week, but we must continue. Endless. These people have brought so many calamities. They have brought so many tears. They have brought so many agony. They have made a wife a widow. They have made the children orphans. They have wiped the entire family. They have wiped entire generation. For how long shall we continue to lament? Knowing fully well that the power belongs to the people. That these people, they are not up to 1%. What is 1%? If you combine all of them, they are none. They are not up to 500. Why should we keep on allowing them to destroy our future, destroy our children, destroy the unborn? Because that land is where we have no other place. Anywhere we are, we scattered in this world. We're a foreigner, we're a stranger. But back home in Biafra land, we are the indigenous. We must support the Igbo youth that are protesting. They have the courage to come out because enough is enough. The youth must send the message to the hopeless Uzodema. He has shed so many blood. But the good thing is, his own family as well. He will share the blood of his own family as well. If that didn't happen, then we know there is nothing like Chukwuka. Then we know there is nothing like him that this radio Biafra will speak from. We are just making it up. But if we know there is Chukwuka, and we know that his anger will pour upon that man. because enough is enough. We must take our destiny in our hand. Our destiny is not in someone that is bringing missionaries, forming militia, going from one village to another, killing every young male, impregnate our little girls as age as 15, devouring our land. And some people are sharing up for him, and people are encouraging him to keep on going. Whatever Hope Uzodinma have done, the evil he has committed, those that are supporting him and backing him, they will take their own portion from the punishment, from the water of Chukwukabiama. But we must do what we must to do, because Chukwukabiama will do what he has to do. But the one we can do, he's not coming anywhere closer for us to do it. That is why, after praying, you put it into practice. I say in our adage, it's a waste of time. If you pray, don't put it into practice, it's a waste of time. You can kneel down, you can fast from now till tomorrow. If you don't get up and do something, it wouldn't work. Simple example. If you're a student and you have exam coming up, you don't study, you pray, fasting from night, 48 hours, 7 days, no eating, dry fasting. The day of your exam, you will fail because you didn't prepare. You didn't do nothing. So the same thing. So we should twist our mind, our brain, to understand how all these things works. No one will do it for you. That is why we are human. That is why God, the Chukwukabiama, gave us brain to think. We must make use of it. By making use of it, by holding these people responsible. We must encourage our youths until Hope Uzodinma listen to the youth of Imo State and then adhere to the instruction of the youths. Without saying this, our land is under siege. Fulani terrorists is everywhere. Every corner you go in our land, they have camped, they have arrived. You know, Mazi Iyke was saying this since 2015, and we are saying he's a warmonger. And he told us that when Fulani take over, they will kill us with impunity, nothing will happen. And they will take every high position, and nothing will happen. And that is what we are witnessing today. Ndị Igbo ahụ agba ọsọ million 3 million zuo ha ahụ. That's onye Igbo kotoro gbawe ọsị ka ọsọ n'anya. They are going to kill us. There is no two ways about it. Because we refuse to prepare. Only Ipob has been lamenting, going around waking the slumbers, our people, up from sleep, but they keep on sleeping. Unfortunately, they are going to massacre us. It's already written, unless if we wake up, perhaps we might save ourselves. But if we continue, well, no one will say they didn't hear, no one will say nobody informed them. But when it starts to happen, please, know that you have every opportunity, but you choose not to do something, support what is going on, for us to save our race. If we fail to get Biafra, If we fail to defend our land, these people will run us down for good. Middle belt, they have already taken over middle belt. Gowanda fought the Biafran war. His community has completely gone. Shall we fold our hand and allow them say, welcome, Bahama, Bahama? Is that what we are going to do? Of course, the answer is no. Then we have to rise up and defend our land and push these people away from once and for all. If we keep on waiting for our governors, we are wasting our time. Because they are not there to serve you. They are there to serve the interests of those that put them there. We must remain strong and we must be disciplined. We have inquiry line. IPOB has inquiry line. Report what is going on. And we must support our youth that are protesting because it's their right. They have the right to protest. And wanting to hope Uzodema if anything happened to them. If anything happened to them, I will leave it there. But you know that will be a heavy price to pay. I will hand the microphone to my colleague. Ekene, if you are here, you can take the microphone. Yeah, thank you.
Everyone, our fellow Biafrans, Biafra land and all over the world, I would like to also welcome you to our program tonight. It's always a pleasure to have this moment with all of you and to reflect on our struggle. I'd like to welcome my colleagues tonight and our host, Mazi Iyke. All right, Mazi has really made very important points, and they are quite relevant as we witness the development, current happenings in Biafra land. Our people must wake up. We must wake up and face what is facing us, so to say. In Hausa Batagoka, they are in our neighborhood. They are here with us now. We must act. And we must understand the tricks of the enemy. We must be smart enough to be able to understand the plans of the enemies and their method of execution. How do they implement their plans against the children of God, against Biafrans? They do that by using some of us, not all of us. So they've taken hold of those we trust in the position of leadership, those that will put our hopes and aspiration in our loyalty to, because they occupy what is seen as a democratic position of leadership and of trust. Once they've gotten hold of these people, they've gotten hold of us. That's a problem we're having. We're having a problem because we have a situation where what people say, therefore, when the water that is coming has been polluted from the source, and you are waiting down on the stream just to fetch a clean water, you will never become clean because the source is polluted. All right? So what do? You tackle it to the source head on. You go to the root of the problem and you tackle it. And if we have been good with situation analysis, with critical analysis of our own circumstance as a people, collective circumstance I'm talking about, you realize where this problem is from. And that's why I also raise my voice and support the activities, the protest of our young people across Biafra land, particularly Imo State. We can no longer take this. It's come to a time we must unite. We must stand united, and we must be seen as so. There is nothing that frightens enemy the most. Nothing than seeing their opponents united. Igwebike, what people say. Igwebike, Madakejaka. 14 young men, unarmed, innocent, poor, marginalized, defenseless, young Igbo men were massacred by a security outfit instituted by the state, by those who call themselves leaders of these people. It is an abomination in our land for a father to take life of their children. It is an abomination. Because we say in our language, we say Awebu Unsane. When we elected them into office or offices, we elected them with a primary purpose of security, to protect our life, protection of our life, to create opportunity for us. So when they stop, instead of protecting us, and they start killing us, it's called Awebu and Oweregi. You do it in the olden days, you're gone. You cannot be saving and killing at the same time. But we've left our culture again. I always come back to culture. We destroyed who we are, and therefore we have no identity. When we had our culture in place, a leader knows that you cannot take a life of those you are leading. A father knows that you can't take life of your house, your household, your kids, your wife. Today they kill and they get away with it. They kill and they go to church and get title and get blessed. It's important. It's an abomination. We've deviated so much. We've vibed off completely, off of our cultural way of life, of our sacred way of life. That's why we are facing this gigantic amount of problem. Our problem is so complex. It is multifaceted. Whichever way you look at it, IPOB have been on the receiving end of the bullets of these criminal and diabolic leaders. We've been there right from the beginning, even when other people are just watching and observing. Because it may get you a turn. These 14 young men, they have families, they have parents, they have brothers, they have personal aspirations. They are looking forward to becoming that which they believe was their destiny in life. Their life had been so cut short by those who think they have the power, the absolute power, and they can do anything and everything and get away with it. So if we keep silent, it will get to a point that we can no longer speak. And this is why we must affirm every right decision and action towards shunning and protesting against this calamity, this great injustice in our land. It's an institutional injustice because it's being performed by an institution of power, elected democratically, so they say, even though we know he was appointed by the court. But that institution should represent democracy in a democratic state, shouldn't it? Where the life of citizens comes as priority of the governments, where they are protected, and where the assurance of their future is granted. But that's not what is happening. We got our people suffering. These young men killed, not only that they were made to suffer poverty. This man-created poverty, type of poverty we have in our land is man-fabricated, because there's no reason why people should be living in that kind of poverty. Is the worst of it all. The poverty of insecurity, where somebody is returning from a celebration, from a ceremony, from a wedding, from an event, a joyful event for that matter. Their life was taken away. Their life was cut short. So this is again why we are fighting to be free. Because if you think this is going to end tomorrow, it will not end. Even with this protest, it is not going to end completely. It will not have a lasting solution. The only lasting solution is freedom. Because the freedom of Biafra will give us opportunity, everybody, to start afresh. Everybody again, on your mat, ready, set, go. That's what it's going to be. There's a great imbalance of power in our land today. We do not want to have that situation where people think they got absolute power and they think they can take life. We want to return to who we are. We want to go back to our culture where there is sanctity of life. Mando, you don't take life because life does not belong to you. Ndobuchi, Menye. And therefore, I speak to all our people tonight. And I'm encouraging us. Do not lose hope. Do not give up this battle. The battle ahead is even going to be stronger than what we're seeing today. Because we're still fighting within our own circle. We haven't taken the game out. We are still trying to survive in our own hearts. And the Fulani are happy. Fulani oligarchy is happy. They are watching remotely. They do not need to come and carry it out themselves. They do not need to say much because they have slaves they placed in charge of our lives. And so they are observing, making sure that these slaves, these people that worship them and do only what they've ordered them to do, are performing. So they don't need to do much. We are in a difficult situation, if we understand. From the highest institution of politics or leadership, to the church, religion, we are in a big mess. This is why our leaders saw this years ago, many years ago. And his prophetic voice has been right on, repeatedly saying the same thing, and people are like, every time he's causing confusion. He wasn't causing confusion. Every time he's causing confusion. Ano, okenye na dọfụ. We honor Kwoga. He could see it and see it. Oh, that young man is causing confusion. A miscreant. He has no work, hasn't done anything. Without Biafra, we will be completely decimated. I hope we don't. But that's why we must fight for Biafra, to start again. Because this jungle must come to an end. This injustice that comes with this, with living in this jungle, must end for us to start living and start thriving as a people. So everybody go out, support the protest, because it's for your life. Today they've killed this 14, tomorrow it could be you, it could be me, it could be anybody. Get involved in the vehicle to your destination, to your freedom. Get involved in every coordinated activity and event that maximizes your freedom. Because you are not free, and you need to be free in your own land. Our youth need to walk out, go about their day, go in the street, drive about, or do whatever they do, and go back home. Every human person has the right to go out and return home to their family. Nobody should stop you and shoot you there. And therefore, that is why we must collectively fight this injustice and fight ultimately for our freedom. At this point, I would like to invite my colleagues, Mazi Iyke. If you are ready, please, you can make your contribution now.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, our Continental Rep, for getting this platform for us so we can deliberate on issues and talk to our people. It's always an honor to hold the fort and talk to our people every Wednesday, and we believe that the time that we spend on Radio Biafra talking to our people energizes our people and brings them to the understanding that what we are doing is our primary call to action, a call to action that we have answered, and we are also beckoning all of our people to answer this call. You might ask me, why did we answer this call? We answered this call because we realized that we do not have a life. We are living, but we do not have a life. Our existence has been cut short because the essence of life has been taken away from us. That is why our people would say, "Na mmadụ na-akpọkwu akpọkwu." It means that you don't have purpose in life. You are living a life of learned helplessness. The life that, let me just do whatever it takes. Let me just, I can't help this. And you've come to the place of accepting absurdity. You've come to the place that you've resolved in yourself, okay, whatever happens, I cannot change this situation. No. We've been taught that we can change the situation. And how can we change this situation? By rising up and doing something. I read something a couple of days ago, and it said, moving mountains is not by prayer, but by actions of removing the stones that make the mountain. Most of us will believe this if we've lived in area where they built a road or a house on a mountain. You will see the mountain, it's been there, heap of sand, rock, just there. And one day, a bulldozer came there and started breaking the rocks, loading that dirt onto a tipper, and it's taking it away little by little until that heap of mountain disappeared. That's the same way we solve our problem. So by picking the stones away, you remove the mountain. And this is what we are doing. Can we change our life in a day? No. Do we need to change our life? Yes. So how do we do it? By little actions, by little understanding, and by consistent and persistent action directed towards a goal. During the days of the NSAS protest, the only thing that our leader said, Mazi Iyke said to the protesters, he said, ensure that you continue this protest for at least 6 weeks. Ensure that you continue doing it. And I tell you what, if those words were hearkened unto, if those people engaging in the NSAS protest continued for 6 weeks, there would have been a massive change in their lives. Today, we see that same action happening in Sri Lanka, and we see the result of it. Today, we see people getting killed and massacred in Nigeria, and nothing is happening because the action that you start is not the winning point. The winning point is for you to continue that action until you get your result. That is why Mazi Iyke since 1999 has continued on this trail, and he's not backing down. That is why most of our leaders in IPOB since 2012, they put their hands on the plow. They've hold the fort and they are not removing their hands. No matter how hot it is, they put their hands on it. No matter the situation, they are resolved that it's either Biafra or death. And that is why we are here, still standing today. Why am I saying this? Our people need to realize that arguing for 50 minutes doesn't solve the problem that you have with the policeman that is trying to stop you from going about your business. Paying the bribe that he's asking you for doesn't also solve the problem. If you go well today, what about tomorrow? So solving the problem today, that you will sweeping the problem of today under the carpet, means that tomorrow it will still be there waiting for you. And that is why we are saying this. We've said it in so many forms, and our people cannot really understand this. Look at the case of people in Nigeria today. There is no security of life. There is no purpose in life. There is nothing to write home about. Even in Abuja, schools are being closed down because of insecurity. This is Abuja we are talking about. And you think you are safe in Anambra? You think you are safe in the east? What do you think they are doing? They are preparing the ground. Because when they now shut down the east, they will tell you, yes, it happened in Abuja. We've been shutting down the north. Get ready for the worst if you don't do the necessary actions today. They've said they want to kidnap Buhari and El Rufai. Maybe they want to do away with the mask wearer and tell us, yes, the kidnappers killed him. Because there is no Buhari. So they are already planning it, saying it to the media. Oh, presidential, we attacked him the other time, he escaped. Oh, now we are going to kidnap him. And then tomorrow, they will do whatever they want and tell you Buhari died during the attack. This is the people we are dealing with. That is why even the Bible says, the wise as serpents, our people. Eze ndị Igbo said, ndị Igbo, ugboro one ka ife ga-eme unu na-ewe mmalụ ife. Ugboro one. The things, the killings happening today, it's in Ebonyi State. Last week, Imo State. How many people have they killed during this ongoing protest? They are still shooting guns and still killing more people. The other day, a young man was shot in Enugu. And the people who should rise up and say, let us fight this fight once and for all, they are all sleeping. you believe, oh, it's not my problem. Some of us will even be blaming the people that go out on that protest. Say, oh, it's because they don't have anything to do. You that have something to do, tomorrow, your life might be cut short because Nigeria is an omen waiting to happen to each and every one of us. Nigeria is like an epidemic. It's a viral sickness in the community that if it happens to you and your neighbor is not protecting him or herself, that sickness will still get to that person. And that is why we are shouting every blessed day on Radio Biafra. Wake up, let us fight and stop this. We have the antidote, we have the vaccine to stop this sickness from killing all of us. And now that vaccine is referendum. Standing in one voice and saying, we don't want this anymore. Our identity is getting lost by the day. How many people can pray to Chukwu Okike Abiama today? That is why people are now accepting whatever religion that comes, because the essence of our life, the content of our container, we are just containers. There are things that make up a human being. There are characteristics, values, ideologies that make you an Igbo person. How many of those ideologies do you still hold? How many of those values do you still have? How many of those knowledge do you still have? Most people don't even know the simple Ekeurie Afonkwo anymore. This is a call for us to preserve, self-preservation, to preserve our lives, our properties, our posterity, the future of our generation unborn. This is what we are fighting for. See how many people they've killed, and no one is being held accountable. In our primordial Igbo society, any person, onye bulocho, onye obuna bulocho, na-ata afụfụ ya. Ostracism. You have to be ostracized because we don't even believe in killing. But today, people are killed like Christmas fowl. People are just slaughtered. Young men are cut down in their prime with no remorse. Is this the life that we want to live? Is this the nation that we want to hold? Like our leader would say, Biafra is the kingdom of God on earth, and we are here to restore Biafra. And if you are not in this journey to restore Biafra, may Nigeria happen to you. May Nigeria happen to your kind. May Nigeria happen to you. Because this is time to take drastic action and protect and preserve our life. Because life is precious. Our people say, Ndokako. Ndokako. And there is nothing that equates to good life. This is what we are fighting for. Thank you, Mazi. Let me make way for other comrades to come and talk. Thank you. Hello, Mazi.
Thank you. I'll take over from you, Silas.
Thank you, Mazi Silas.
Thank you very much. I'll start by acknowledging our global audience, the freedom lovers, and people who cherish fairness. Thank you, Biafrans, Biafran families around the globe. Thank you, freedom lovers. Wherever you are, may our Almighty God of creation be with you. We also extend this prayer to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the greatest prophet of our time, a man of fairness, a man that fears Elohim, a man that spoke and listens to Chukwuka Abiyama. We revere his intelligence, and we will always show that absolute loyalty to him and to the structure he put up. I pray this prayer on behalf of all Biafrans and our family members. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been vindicated so many times by what is happening in Nigeria, a so-called country that lacked nationhood, that never really attained nationhood, a place where the leaders does not care about the people. In fact, it is a jungle. It is a zoo, as aptly described by our leader. This has manifested again and again in the Southeast. The Southeast has never been free. Since after the war, they kept us in a siege, indirectly mounting series of police and security blockades, 5 kilometers apart from each, extorting money from us. If anybody questioned them, they will shoot the person. A people without any central security, a people under siege, a people confused to the core. We never really saw it the way it is. It is now showing. They don't want to use the uniformed police to make or attend locations. Now they use a so-called state police that they have refused forever, not until Ipob set up ESN. Now this so-called Ebubago enlisted or used by the military, the police, and some hired killers from around the country parade the streets of the southeast, attend people's houses, and conduct summary execution. Sometimes they will do that and claim that it was done by the ESN or IPOB members, and turn around to use that to blackmail IPOB and ESN security forces. This is what is happening on ground. The killing of these 14 young people who went to a traditional marriage, whom by God's grace we have cameras, we have social media, their pictures were shown shortly before they were killed on their way back home. And it didn't take time before the state governor went to the radio and announced that those killed were bandits and that they were killed by DSS. Who else is going to, what other investigation do we need? The killer has claimed that they killed. They killed unknown. So this has been happening in our land since mid last year, or as far as the Ebubago was formed, and it is intentional to kill the young people. Once you kill the young male, the young people, the elderly will die away, and the place will be open and porous and easy to conquer and take over. This is their approach. Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, might claim that he doesn't know what is happening, but he was imposed on the Imo citizens, Imo indigents, to carry out Fulani takeover, to make sure that Ruga occurred, to make sure that our waterways are taken over by unknown foreign terrorists raiding around the entire East. This is what is happening. We need to explain it clearly to the people. Those of the elites that are still sleeping, those of the elites that think that there is something for anyone in Nigeria. This message is for you guys. If you know and you do not practice it, Steve Harvey, the publisher of the 7 habits of efficient managers, said it. If you know and you don't practice what you know, you don't know it. If you are an elite who prepares analytical theories and papers that have been published once or twice, and you know the pattern of occupation or pattern of subjugation by the Fulanis, and you are quiet out of fear, you are quiet out of what you are getting from the Fulanis or because of the business you set up, you are quiet so that your political ambition can be preserved. You don't know it. In fact, you are working against your people, because inaction during a time when you're supposed to act is an action. I will repeat, inaction when you are supposed to act is an action, because you might keep quiet so that they can come and take over, and what you get is then because your business is preserved. So a state of inaction when it is obvious and can be proven that you should act is an action. And I'm saying this to put everybody on notice. If there is something you have to do, the least you can do is to join a group, form a critical mass, and resist these killers that are killing our people. The least you can do as someone who is lettered, who can write, is to write and publish what is happening and put it as part of the opinion. We need the critical mass to push over these marauding foreigners intending to take over our land, because for the past 50 or 55 years ago, since the war ended, or the Biafran war was stopped 52 years ago, the actions of the Nigerian government towards the southeastern region is a suffocating one, in the sense that major infrastructures were denied this region. No single international airport where people can take off and fly in. Mind you, the Biafrans are the fourth most traveled race in the whole world. And if you leave the management of an air force, the management of an airport to our discretion, we will manage it as good as any other airport is managed anywhere in this planet. So why can't we have one? They will give us millions of reasons why it wouldn't happen. We don't have a seaport. That is why our population is moving away from our ancestral land to somewhere else, scattered across Nigeria, but not the southeast, scattered across West Africa, but not the southeast, scattered around the globe, because we are seeking for a better life. We are seeking for jobs. Meanwhile, the roads within the Biafran land have not been constructed. Hospitals have not been built. Go to any place in the world. If you find 5 blacks, 3 of them are from the Biafran land, anywhere in diaspora. That's the statistics. And that tells you, if we are able to survive in a place that we didn't even have the genetic predisposition to live in, why can't we would flourish in our own soil. We will flourish on our own soil. That is the fact. So the fact that I'll return to Imo State, the fact that the governor claimed that from the information he has as the chief security of the state, that the DSS shot these young people, is a claim that the Nigerian government is intentionally wiping away our young people. And it has gotten to the head. We will make sure we will do everything to alert the world, alert our people, prepare our people, and resist these extrajudicial killings. It should also be said, if you find a bandit, according to the Nigerian constitution, unarmed people, unarmed bandits, you arrest them, you detain them, you try them, and you give them, if convicted, you assign an equivalent punishment according to the law to them. None of those things happened. When did the DSS become the judge that determines who gets executed. Is the governor mad? This is when we start speaking in this language. The governor must be mad for saying that. One of the qualities of leadership is you got to be compassionate, at least to the people you're leading. The reason we get somebody from Imo State to be the governor of Imo State is because they would have natural compassion for those who live and who are Imo State indigents as well. If the governor is then importing killers from elsewhere, using the repentant Boko Harams that are in the military to wipe the young people away, why is he still there? The governor should resign and leave the state. 14 men gone down in the most cold blood and callous manner. Our land has been discredited by this action, and by someone imposed on the state. I wonder why those of them that claim to be intellectuals are quiet. They are quiet. Is either too scared or they don't know what, they are not intelligent. You can be intelligent and you see this terrorism happening in our land and you keep quiet. It is not going to help anybody. Nobody will be immune. And this takes us to another level of this. It is criminal negligence. It is criminal for a leader, as I said before, to see the abomination being carried in to this extent. Anything that removes life is the worst thing that can happen in any place. The lowest standard of stability or normalcy is, that people are alive. Their life cannot be extinguished, without any reason. So this action, if this were to be in a nation or a state where people actually are free and reason, also Duma wouldn't be asked to step down. He will disappear from the office. He will run away and not come back and phone the state from somewhere and say, I can't stand it. But it is the zoo where the victim is meant to be is punished and the offender is exalted. And this is why we must continue. Wherever you are, we must continue asking for our freedom so that we can get out of the Nigerian field. The Nigerian field, I call it, because there's no way any decent person can condone this sort of behavior. And this reached to this climax because 14 people were killed at once. Since November, they've been killing 2, 3, 1 before people's family. They will go to the house, bring him out, and summarily execute the person and say that they are DSS or a Bubaga. We should maintain our resistance. We should support those who are resisting this illegitimate country called Nigeria. The time has come for us to maintain that strength and liberate ourselves and then set up a Biafra where people can live, strive, developed, unhindered, unchallenged by some criminal. Known criminals are the ones able to contest for election, and even when they fail and come number 4 or number 6, they can still be called in by a Supreme Court. They call Apex Court to say, oh, they found 50,000 votes in the gutter that belong to this guy. And so on that basis, we give you the leadership. It's a shame. I will summarily say a prayer. May God receive the souls of our brothers that have departed. May God strengthen their family and replace in those families with some human capital that would bring closure and regenerate the families. We ask the God of creation, Chukwu Kiabiama, to be with our people, all freedom fighters, all Biafrans, our families and friends, and most especially to be with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Give him the strength, be his spiritual doctor, heal him of all illness, keep him inspired and strong, and find a way to bring him out for us, dear Lord. All this and more we ask in the name of Chukwu Kiabiama. I now hand over this microphone to the moderator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, Mazi. Silas, well spoken. And I want to thank every one of us that has made tonight's contribution. What single message want to leave to our people who have been listening to our talk tonight is we have inherited a situation and a land where we are not free, where our freedom is limited and our progress is impossible without change. Therefore, it is our fundamental right to change the course of our life and make sure that the generations to come will not suffer like us. It is a responsibility of each one of us, every one of us, to commit to this struggle, to contribute their own part, to see this struggle as a necessity, and to pledge loyalty and support, full loyalty and support to what IPOB is doing, which is effort to liberate our people, so that our children will not have to fight the entire life, but they will have to inherit a decent society where they can progress, where they can compete, where they will be perceived as people living with dignity, where they will be respected, where their freedom will be granted, a society in which they can contribute, they can be part of it at all time. That's our final message to you, our listeners, and whatever you've been doing that is contributing positively to this struggle to liberate our people, continue doing that. If you're standing up and you're on the street, continue standing, because we cannot be neutral where there is injustice. We must speak. We must speak. And therefore, we will bring it to the end now, and we thank you for joining us tonight. We plead you to join us next time, next week, at this time next week, on Wednesday night. I will hand over to our host tonight, Mazi Iyke. Mazi, over to you.
This is Radio Biafra. I'm back again. Thank you guys for coming, and I hope to see you again same time next week. All right, thank you very much. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. What we're gonna do right now is probably make sure that we receive calls. If you have anything to say and you want to discuss about what they have just said, please call. The lines are open for you. We have limited time to run the program. In the next 30 minutes, we'll be out of here. 646-920-4541, 845-344-7984-929-406-9953. If you have been listening to the Australians, they are here every Wednesday. They come on board with us. So what we are still talking about is the protests that the Igbo people are organizing. The Igbos are protesting. We are protesting vigorously because our children are being murdered. Our children are being killed every day, and nobody is saying anything about it. If we let it continue, it's going to continue and it will never, never, ever stop. I'm having some funny noise around here this morning, so I don't really know what the construction people are doing outside. They seem to be bringing in some noise. However, we're still on here. We're not going to stop. Like I said before, if you were listening to the Australians, you can make your calls. The lines are open for you. And tell us whatever you think. Whatever you suggest, bring up. I wouldn't give you a topic to talk about unless you want to dwell on what they spoke about, which is about the protest that is going on at the moment in Biafra land. Basically, it started in Imo State yesterday. We are asking you, those of you who cannot actually go there physically to take part in the protest, not to forget that the people who are there also have their own business. They have their mouths to feed. They have to eat. They have to drink. So if you go out there as a mass kind of support, give them, give them whatever you think you can afford to give them. And that will be very, very good. And then say in the afternoon, you can lock your business early and join the protest. We are not asking anybody to go out there and create problems. No. What we are saying is that these people are out there representing us, and if we keep quiet, if we pretend as if everything is cool, well, nothing is cool for us. We know that they are out to destroy us, they are out to kill us, and they are doing their best to make sure that they succeed. All right, I think I have a breaking. Let's see. I think there's something that just came in. Let me see. I think I have. All right. There's a message here. Let me read this out for you. Just came in late. I think I need to read it because it just came on my. All right. IPOB press release on the 27th. That's today. Kudos to ESN for enforcing open grazing ban at Olokwanta. Okay, we, the global family and the movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, under the leadership of our great leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the doggedness of our great security outfit called the ESN network, who confronted terrorists masquerading as headsmen at Olokwanta on 22nd of July 2022. We commend the IPOB leadership who have seen what our people are passing through in the hands of these terrorists, kidnapping for ransom, rampaging our mothers in forms of killing of our men in their farms and snatching cars from all travelers following the routes in Ishukwato, Umunochi, Isochi, and Okigwe since over 2 years. The government refused to heed to the crying of the citizens. IPOB hails them for doing the needful at that area. We are pursuing responsible Fulanese not to do their legitimate. We are pursuing responsible Fulanese not to do their legitimate business. But we are after those terrorists masquerading as headsmen, kidnapping and destroying our people's lives and farmlands in that area. IPOB and ESN are responsible for the killing of cows, encroaching into people's farmlands. We also warn the Fulani terrorists not to venture attack any community in the area as in their nature. If they attack any community, that means Fulani will no longer be allowed to do business again in that market. IPOB advised all Fulanese a legitimate business to ensure They stay within the designated area assigned for them in the market. They must not exceed the square meters and measurements given to them in that market. If they do, they will have scores to settle with IPOB. IPOB is not a terrorist movement. Our focus is on peaceful Biafra referendum for citizens of Biafra to decide their fate in Nigerian project. We are not Fulani terrorists who use Boko Haram to terrorize Goodluck Ebere Jonathan out of office and force late Buhari, the terrorist sponsor, into office. Even though Elohim destroyed the terrorist sponsor, but the caliphate manipulated their ways and forced an impostor, a masked wearer, into Aso Rock. That's why Nigeria has divided and spoiled beyond redemption. Clueless Arewa group mentioning P2B's name with the activities of IPOB shows that they are suffering from what we call Igbophobia. Peter Obi belongs to Nigeria elites. His condemnation of silence on IPOB activities is none of our concerns. We are Arewa. Terrorist sponsors did. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar condemned the gruesome murder of Deborah Yakubu in Sokoto State last 2 months. Instead, he encouraged Muslim fanatics who murdered and burned the lady in their school because she posted something that was not related to the Muslim family. Let be crystal clear to Arewa groups and whoever cares to listen that IPOB and P2B with other Igbo politicians have parallel objectives, and they have nothing to do with IPOB strategy and operatives. This is very important. I want them to listen to this. We have nothing to do. You know, when he says something in parallel, they can never meet. They are going, there's no crossroad, nothing. The terrorists masquerading as headsmen in Law Panther should know that ESN and IPOB is responsible for the recent decimation of cows that the terrorists are using as cover to kidnap, rape, and destroy our people's farmlands. Therefore, if these terrorists attack any community in that area, they must prepare to leave that area and, in fact, entire Biafra land. We are not interested in whatever their political leaders and their political collaborators in Igbo land are saying. IPOB and ESN has responsibility to keep our land safe for our indigenous people and lawful residents. We will not compromise on this obligation, even when the compromised Nigerian security have joined the agenda to forcefully take over our land. IPOB is the people, and the people are IPOB, and no one or tribe will take over our land. Not today, not tomorrow. It's signed by Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for IPOB. She's very clear. We're making it very, very clear. We are parallel lines. P2B is running his own one Nigeria. We are not interested in that. That is his choice. Let him keep doing what he's doing. Our quest is for our freedom, our independence. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for something that is rocket science. They can do all they can do, but you know something? We are very, very resolute in what we are saying. When we have done something, we'll take responsibility for it. The decimation of the cows that go to spoil our farmlands, the ESN and IPOB have taken control of that. If you think that you can go and attack the villagers, the natives that live in that community, then you are now forcing us to come after you. We are coming after terrorists, not Fulani people that are doing legitimate business in the area. As long as they keep to their territory, they've given a place to stay. That area is where they occupy. That area is where they will do their business. If they encroach beyond that, they are. By the way, we are making it very clear. This publication signed shows you that we are not after you as a person. We are after the terrorists that are in the area. So for you to go and attack anybody in the community thinking that no, we are taking full responsibility. ESN and IPOB are the ones that will decimate and will continue to decimate. They're not going to stop. Oh, I mean, talking about the cows, the animals that go to destroy our farms, that rape our mothers. The terrorists are using these animals as a camouflage to get into our land and destroy our people. We are not going to let it happen. The ESN and IPOB, they are out there to do what is right. The message is very simple. You can do whatever you like. P2B can run around with you guys. Cool. If he likes to do that, let him do it. But none of you, all of you, have anybody got up to say the killing of these 14 children, did it mean anything to you? You never commented on it. The one they call Atiku Abubakar. That one, they killed somebody and somebody published something. The next minute he just quickly brought it down. Oh, it's not to my knowledge. Yeah, what do you need? Why should it be out of your knowledge? An innocent girl was killed, was brought out and killed and murdered because she said something. You don't condemn it. Today you are running to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Hey, I have quaken up. We are watching. The only election we are interested in is referendum. If you conduct a referendum, a peaceful one, let us decide on where we want to go. We'll be saying these things and we'll keep saying it and we're not going to stop saying it. No matter what you do, we are asking for a referendum and that is what we're going to get. All right, the lines are open for you. Call me here at 646-920-4541, 845-344-7984. Call us.
And the microphone I changed. You don't tell when we fight for this freedom. You don't tell when we fight for this freedom. All we need is 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 tell me what to do, tell me what to do, tell me what you see, tell me what you feel, tell me what you know. When we talking about the referendum, honestly, I have to go for long. You know because it's late for long. Back in the days, you know what's up. But because of the program, I remember when my father they tell me about the war. Then spending so much fun, we have to celebrate. Typically, man, you don't tell when we fight for this freedom. We don't tell when we fight for this freedom. All we need is all we need is all we need is all we need is all we need is
All right, I have a call coming in. Call out on WhatsApp. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning from here.
Yeah, no, sorry, Peter, can you hear me? I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me? I know my call has been picked.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Please, just a moment. Let me see what is wrong here. I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I've been hearing you. Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mazi Iyke. Thank you for having me. I know you have a limited time for today because our brothers from Australia. Well, we thank them so much for coming every Wednesday to educate us, Mazi. We are listening to them, and whatever they say, Mazi, means a lot to us for this struggle. We thank their courage and their time they dedicate to educate us every Wednesday. Our brother in Australia, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for educating Biafrans. Mazi, I just want to ask some questions here. Mazi, yesterday, Mazi Alozie program. Mazi Alozie program. There's a statement he said. He said, Sahara reporter reported that this idiot in Finland, this Markoda, they call what his name again, Samonekpa. Says Samonekpa is a fashion in an IPOB. Now we have made it publicly that this man is not a part of IPOB. And my question is this, Mazi. You know, let me, before I ask my question, there's a one documentary I watched one time. And this documentary be in this way. There is a man, this man is dealing in a drug. He's a drug dealer. And his wife knows about this. And his friend knows about this. And they never reported it to police. They never make it known to public that his husband is a drug dealer. And what happened next? When they caught this man, they bring this man to court. And they give the woman 15 years imprisonment. They give the man, the friend of the man, 8 years and give the man 7 years. And his wife protests. The wife of the man said, why do you give me 15 years if I'm not a drug dealer? They say yes, because you know that your husband is doing this for a very long time. You never reported it to the police. That is called conspiracy. You conspired with your husband because you know he's doing this and you never reported it. But now they called your husband. Now you have to say it. Now you have to know that my husband is doing. But you know this for a very long time. Why do I say this? This guy they call idiot in Finland. They call Samanekpa. They're using IPOB name. Whenever you want to say you want to raise funds, you will use IPOB name. Nnamdi Kanu name. Whenever you want to come online, people to listen to him, he will call IPOB. My question is this, Mazi. Can we not sue this guy for infiltrating IPOB name? Why is not a member of IPOB? Mazi, you know, in Europe, in Africa, in America, anywhere you use the name that is not for you, it's a fraud. If you use anything that does not belongs to you, it's a fraud. Why this guy? Okay, let me put it in this way. Let's say that this guy is a part of IPOB before. But why? What is not a part of us? For integrity, but let me put it that it's a part of us, and he got sacked or he gets paid in IPOB. It's no more. You don't have to do anything with IPOB anymore. Why this guy still using IPOB name? That is my question. And when Sahara reporter report this that faction in IPOB says nobody should go and protest in Owerri. And my question is this. Why are we allowing this guy using IPOB name steady? Can we not do something? Mas, is it not possible, or is it not to take legal action against this guy? Mas, that's my question.
Thank you.
Why are we keeping so silent about this guy? We're just saying it's not part of us, it's not part of us. And this guy continue using IPOB name, damaging IPOB image. Whenever DOA says something, this guy will counter it. Whenever IPOB says something, this guy will counter it. The same thing happened when we want to go to 1 million man march in the process. Belgium. This guy counter, he said nobody should go there. They will poison anybody that goes there. Anything this guy is doing is to counter whatever we are doing, and we are keeping quiet for this guy. Mas, we have to pay a lot of quiet for this guy. What is going on here? Why are we keeping quiet? Who is this guy, by the way? What can this guy? Why are we keeping quiet? The has never make serious attempt over this guy. This have stepped onto a foot of IPOB. Who is this guy? That's my question. As Sahara reporter said now, it's a fashion to IPOB. Why is not a fashion in IPOB? Mazi, I don't like it. We are keeping quiet enough for this guy, and this guy is penetrating, doing everything in IPOB's name, making us to be a criminal. Why we are not a criminal? This guy committing everything and putting in the name of IPOB. Mas, you're not supposed to be in this way. Mas, that's what I want to say here. Thank you for having me, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. I think I have an answer to you for your concern. this issue is still on the table. We're doing something about it. We're not going to keep quiet about it. It's not that we overlooked it, but the truth is that, you know, the likes of the reporters that are saying, you know, reporters, even it's not unique with the Sahara reporters, they all do it. They want you to get to their news. They want you to get interested in what they are saying. And they are giving power to where power doesn't belong. They making something that's not so irrelevant and not relevant. The likes of Ekpa, or whatever they call him, his name is, I hardly want to talk about him in my program because it's not relevant. Those people are class people, honestly speaking. When you talk on radio, forget about talking on radio and opening your mouth. If you don't have command over your sentences, you don't have command over your tenses, you don't even know what you're talking about, and you're a lawyer, I don't know how you're going to stand in court and speak English. There are some of us who, by school, I hear about English grammar. That is as a subject. And so some of us are very careful about tenses. When you're supposed to use is and using was, then there's something wrong with you. When there are many people and you are saying, you are calling it you're using a singular instead of masculine. So people like that, I read them. As soon as you talk, I know. Someone is not representing you. He has always made it very clear that he is not a member of IPOB, and he's not, and he can never be anyway. The only thing you're talking that I understand is that injunction can be placed on these people to stop all this. And I know somebody who's working very, very diligently on it. And sooner or later, we're going to hear something. Don't let it bother you. They can talk whatever like. The protest continues. He can stay in Finland and decide on what he wants to do and who goes to protest. Maybe one day they'll get to his family if he has a family back home. And when they get there, then he will recount what he's saying. This has nothing to do with IPOB or anything. This is human rights we're talking about. We're talking about people, mothers and fathers and families that are being murdered. And we are saying that Igbo people are the ones protesting. Now, is he in charge? What is his problem with that? I don't know. And let's not give him too much credit. That's what I'm saying. This man is not, he's not what? When we were small, when Zeke, people like Nnamdi we talk, I say, Zeke as what was on. The days are gone. People are very educated now, honestly. The little man in the street, even though, like I said before, we are old school. Maybe by the time the old school passes on, the younger generation might use for ease for words and use words for ease. But for those of us who are old school, no. We still pay attention to our tenses and be very correct in what we're saying. You don't have to speak English. Swahili. At the one that you can speak very well. Because only see when he goes to interviews, we hear him speak the Igbo language completely. He's like a British man. Caller, good morning. Caller on WhatsApp, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon from here. I'm calling from Sweden. Good afternoon, Mazi Iyke.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you, my brother. I say, let me thank you all of you that are broadcasting, GOS and HOD. Reaching us a will and make a little honor. Because I thank God, I will mix it anyway. I will mix it. My name is Sibos. I'm calling from Sweden. I thank God as we went to 1 million man march. So while we went there, we heard the news of European Parliament telling them to release our leader, and the United Nations as well, also telling them to release our leader. That's the handwork of God and the handwork of being unity. So I would like you people to be united as well. Last time I was hearing about Nyanya, blah, 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 and I don't want to talk about it much. So, but I want you people to be united and work closely to each other. Not everything they will throw away on the air.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you very much for your call. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. Like I said before, today I'm still talking about the protest that is going on in Igbo land. We must make sure that we have placards that reflect exactly what we are talking about. When you carry a placard, make sure that you are really, how would I say it? you really write something on your placard that will make people understand exactly why you are doing the protest. We are not trying to create any kind of whatever, or how would I put it? We're not trying to create any or be disorganized, or kind of create problems for anybody. No. Let me give you an example for those of you who are listening out there who are going out for a protest. There are issues, there are things that you can write on your placard because the world is watching, not just our Igbo people. The entire universe is watching and they want to know why are they doing these things. There are inscriptions. You can have things like "End Ibubago in Igbo land." Just have it on your flyer. "End Ibubago in Igbo land." Stop the killing of Igbo youths. Just write it. I'll read it quietly. "End Ibubago in Igbo land." Different placards should have different inscriptions on them. Stop the killings of Igbo youths. DSS, stop the killing of Igbo youths. Put a DSS there, tell them we know that they are the ones doing this. Justice for Igbo youths. Things like that. Justice for these 14 Igbo youths been killed extrajudicially in Imo State by Ibubago. We want justice for them. Government must stop sponsoring kidnapping and mayhem in our land. Government must stop sponsoring kidnapping and mayhem in our land. Put them on your flyers, carry them with you, because we're not going to stop this until Ibubago have left our land completely. For now, they are proscribed. Anybody who comes out as Ibubago is looking for serious trouble. The churches are demanding justice for the Igbos and killing of our people. We are demanding justice. The churches are doing the same thing. Anywhere, meaning Nigerian is doing the same thing. They are killing us in our land. We didn't look for trouble. We didn't go to their land. We're in our home. They brought in somebody from the Supreme Court and they called him the governor. He's the one organizing this whole thing. So we are insisting that he has to leave our land also. We are elders of the land. We call for justice from the government. We are elders of the land of Biafra, the land of Eastern region. We call for justice from the government. We are mothers. Our children must be given their rights and justice. ASU has been on strike nearly a year now, and government continue to sponsor killing of Igbo youths. DSS has arrested hundreds of Igbo youths since over a year and has refused to change or to charge them to court. Free them all. These are inscriptions that you can have on your flyer. Imo State is bleeding. Igbo land is bleeding. End police brutality. If there's no justice for the people, let there be no peace for the government. If there is no justice for the people, let there be no peace for the government. We have right for self-determination. It is universal. Stop the incarceration of Igbo youths. Our Igbo youths are languishing in various detention facilities in northern Nigeria. Equity and fairness is all we want. Igbo governors must rise up to their responsibilities by speaking the mind of Ndi Igbo governors. They will never speak. How can they speak? They're Fulani stooges. That's what they are. We know that. They were put in there by the Supreme Court. Some of them are there. They are afraid to speak up because they know the consequences for their paymaster. That's what they are afraid of. You can't beat a child and tell him not to cry. We have been killed. They are killing us every day and nobody's saying anything. We demand justice, the extrajudicial execution of the Igbos, end killings in our land. Free all illegally detained Igbo youths. DSS proud of extrajudicial killings in Igbo State. Igbo, we must rise up against injustice now. Where are the human rights organizations? Why are they not talking about killings of Igbo youths by Ibubuago? Fulani headsmen must leave our land. Enough is enough over the killings of our killings in our land. Igbo, we don't know whose turn it will be next. We must rise up against these barbaric acts in our land by the Nigerian security agencies. Make sure that you have this. Please put this down on your flyers, on your posters when you're going out there in protest. For those of you who cannot make it in the daytime, shut down your business on time and join them. Break if you pure water you can afford, please give them. Because these people are what they are doing it for all of us and not for themselves. So go out there and protest. The protest is continuing. It is not going to stop for now until our demands are met. And one of the demands that Ibubago must be completely eradicated in Biafra land. They cannot come in there and be killing us. The one that they called, the man that spoke about him yesterday, called his name. That one I know is in hiding. Probably he's hiding with his governor or his Imo State governor somewhere. We don't really know that. But what we know, and what we know is that we are going to fish him out regardless of wherever he hides. You know, when you think you're hiding, you can hide, but you know the land will not be able to hide you. You will discover that the world might look very big, but eventually, when you are in hiding, you discover that it's so small that people will always find you out. The process continues and the protest continues. I'm sorry, we are not going to stop.
Nnamdi, listen to this is the gentleman. How many to about worship? Okay, I'm going to have a Sunday. My junior brother center, I haven't to okay, the gentleman. The women and the then after the challenge, the guy up by the sign and the Hanan, the Hamacha and I know the Hanajan, no harm of it. I hate you in 1 month. Then you know how to have this ever hanging. I wish when in 9 then I have some baby, a predicted I love. A machine. Window goes on move with them. Machine not with the pop machines. Then by move from ever hanging. From ever to 3 poles. And they go back to speed the bapata. The new machine and I drive how about or purpose. Bahani the machine and not how about Bahani the town. Then I got out of my daughter from a device out with speed. I say I have a wooden dog out of fear or buffalo. Because always at the straight road. I am on that straight road and I will have to block all the roads. Then I have a good when I convert. So that person number. And I have a jubilous now trying out what I buy. Then convert I have done my brother man. I don't know about that. Here tell about the boy. I got a girl. I want to open it to go and have open it to. So then my brother talking about how chicken over. I don't. So how about you in the between that bottle of block here? Within the battery that my brother, then I have a machine at that, mean to know other for one side. Let me just say, I'll go my guy, I love up and dog guys, and I want to do I wouldn't doubt, not for my guy, listen, he was out of pushes in almost 6 or 8 minutes, a little pop over. Down with your land, I did not however, when we should I did. Why? You are other rally, we did this million, I am from Mozambique. The only America team leader, in the back, yes. From Anu. Then, don't worry, Ogun, all one dog on it, all what to go here. I want to live here. I need the money because I have 1 year wine. No true, die. Then now, no one dog on it, no one dog on it, no 1 minute and now, but not another 4 million. So, boys, if you actually don't shoot this ball, but we don't shoot that.
All right, the thing slipped from there, but the point I'm trying to make before we go is that this my young man that is telling this story today, Chukwu kept him to tell this story. Because if they had taken him out, that could have been the end. They could have put anything on our head. So the old woman, we know, right? I'm my family, I'm my role. So, Yazowe, eventually he will come out. Because enough is enough. This is why the Igbo people should hit the street. Don't mind what anybody's saying. We are talking about lives here, because anybody who is saying that you shouldn't do anything like we protest, we're not asking you to go and kill anybody, but you are going to make your point known to government, known to whoever is going to listen. Make sure that you carry placards and be as peaceful as you can, but make sure that you are consistent, because that's no need to know. We have to continue what we're doing until our request is completely taken care of. Until we get what we want, there's no stopping. All right, my brothers, my sisters, and listeners all over the world, we have to go at this point, but stay tuned. Don't forget that Mazi Iyke USA 1 is coming in next. And as long as we are concerned, everything that has a beginning must have to have an end. And we've started well today, and the Australians came in here. And it was nice that they came, because they gave us information, and we'll keep rolling. There are no two ways about it. Radio Biafra is on 247. Stay tuned. Don't go away, because Mazi Iyke is actually next. Still have to remind you something important, that Biafra for us is our religion. Here on Radio Biafra is all we worship. In Biafra, yes, we shall all be there again. From this, our religion, the last hope we have. We are going to pray, and after that, we shall discuss, we shall teach, we shall lecture, and also we shall prophesy if the Spirit leads us in that very direction. Do not forget your pen and your paper. And for those of you, I know that some of you stream this on Facebook, stream it right across the entire platform that is Facebook. People have streamed it live on their respective private pages. You can go there to follow and to also read what each other is saying. But we must proceed. But before we do so, we must pray as it is customary for us here to do. And I shall pray in the language of heaven, the oldest language. Since they brought in, by their own admission, they brought in these people from across the Sahel. I am asking them, since they brought them from across the Sahel, can somebody tell me how they came to be in possession of AK-47? But they were very clever. You see, very, very smart. Very smart. Britain was advising them. Britain told them that your entry route into the heartland of the South is with your cattle. Don't call them. These are people they brought in to rig election for them. After the election, they have decided to settle them down. In order to justify their presence in your forest, they are not telling you that they are headsmen, that they belong to this, that they are pastoralists. Under Mietiana. This is how clever. They think they're clever. They never knew we would come. Fulani never envisaged that the likes of Nnamdi Kanu will ever emerge. They never in a million years. They thought that you can bribe anybody. You can buy anybody. Offer him a jet, give him money, tell him, promise him good life with his family. Anywhere he wants. Promise him a house, mansion, oil well, anything he wants. Give him his money. After all, you can buy any woman, you can buy them. They are very weak. You can buy all of them. They never knew who we were. That I come from a line, I wouldn't call it royal, a line of nobility, where you have noble men that do not sell their conscience. If you knew my father, you will testify to what I'm telling you. Ask those that knew him, they will tell you who he is. Noble people, they do not compromise.
Never. And then we came, or should I say, Chukwukikabiama determined that we should come at this time to save you. Not just to save Igbo people, not just to save Ibibio, not to save Efik alone, not to save Ejo, not to save Isoko, Urobo, Ishekiri, Ikodomikodo. No, not at all. But to set free everybody trapped in the colonial enclave called Nigeria. Because as I told you 2 days ago, those ruling Nigeria now are not Nigerians. If I thought there's anything like, let us assume there is something called Nigeria that Britain created. The people in charge now are not Nigerians. They are not indigenous to the land. They do not have a home. They have no home address. If you ask them, where is your home address? They don't have. They are nomads. If you don't know the meaning of nomad or nomadic life, go and Google it or look for your dictionary. That was why Jonathan set up nomadic education. Nomads means people that wander, wandering people. They don't stay in one place. They keep moving all over the place. Abraham in the Bible, that begot all of us, was a nomad. Until at a time, Elohim said to him, you should stop moving about all over the place. You have to stay in one place. But these people are still one of the few primitive tribes in the world moving their livestock from one place to another. So anywhere land comes is home. I want ethnic nationalities in Nigeria to understand the mess they are in. Some of you have no idea the type of the state of hopelessness you're in. I'm here to remind you of it. And you may not act upon it, but try to tell your children what you've heard on Radio Biafra. So in the future, as their mother is being raped or their sister abducted, they'll say, oh, Daddy, remember that thing you told us you heard on Radio Biafra? That is why we preach this gospel the way we do. They came from Sierra Leone, from Mali, from Senegal, from Chad, because Fulani in Nigeria hasn't got the numbers to fight. The reason why Southerners have not been attacked in the north, allow me to repeat, the only reason why Southerners have not been attacked in the north is because Hausa peasants, the Fulanis have ground into the dust. If you want to see poverty, go to Kanu. Go to Kanu State. You see what is poverty. This same downtrodden, because Fulani is a specialist in using people. They love to use people. These same people, they have traumatized their fathers, their grandfathers, every of their lineage going back 6 generations or more. The Hausas have just realized, courtesy of Radio Biafra, that we are no longer going to go out to kill Igbo people. We cannot do it for you anymore. And the Fulanis do not have the numbers to do so. Do you know how they managed to stop tomatoes and onions from coming down these past few days? Because anywhere you have any institution you have Fulani in it, they always aspire to be at the head, to be giving orders and command. So they set up checkpoints where the commander of that very detachment is a Fulani person. That's how they're ruling you. If all of us open our eyes tomorrow to say enough is enough, Fulani will be sent packing. I'm not asking for them to be attacked or for anybody to, but they cannot be in our forest though. Makade Amama, they cannot be in our, no, God forbid bad thing. Let heaven fall, they cannot be in our forest. If we find them there, they are gone. And of course, some of them can testify to the goodness of the Lord. In that regard, if we find you in any forest in the east, you are a goner. As I'm speaking, record what I'm telling you, record it, tape it down, and send to anybody you feel like sending it to. Our people must understand something. Those killing you are from Senegal, they are from Mali, they are from Niger, they are from Sierra Leone, they are from Chad. They came to rig elections. All of you were there when 7-year-olds were voting in Kanu. You are there, you saw it. You saw it. People say, well, why do you speak this way about black? I say, because black people are useless. They never act.
on that thing that is right. Never. Morally speaking, black people are bankrupt morally. Moral bankruptcy. All of you, including your INEC, including observers from Europe, all of you came down during the elections of, was it 2015? You saw kids voting in Kanu State. You came again in 2019? You saw people, little children voting from Niger Republic. Didn't you see them? What did you do? You said, oh, although I was reading, we voted for them. You see, one last slide again. They gave money to newspapers. You see, in Africa, every layer of life, or should I say existence, from your doctors to your lawyers, some of them, to your, or let's say legal practitioners, will bring it down to those holding high public offices and those serving beneath them. Have you seen the level of wickedness? Do you know that a doctor who took an oath, according to medical ethics, if you see somebody dying, is an emergency, you must treat that very person before asking for money. As long as you have the necessary materials or tools to treat that person, you must treat them. That is medical ethic. Go, I think it's medicine 101. Go to anywhere, and the number one thing is to save life. But do you know that a doctor will know that somebody is... I'm digressing a bit because I want to tell you about the depth of what I call moral bankruptcy in the makeup, in the DNA of black people, why we are in the mess we are in today, and why the Fulanis are ruling all of us. Visit us. A doctor will tell you to go and bring deposit. If you don't bring deposit, that somebody will die. You think it's a joke? He'll be there. He'll be looking at somebody dying. You know, when I look at doctors in Nigeria, I know that, you know, when I say people flinch, they say, hey, don't say, I know that the devil must be a black man. See, Satan must be from Africa somewhere. Lucifer. Do you know why I say that? You see a doctor watching somebody die, a pregnant woman that requires cesarean section or operation to bring out the baby. A doctor will tell the family, go and sell your land, I don't care. And the doctor will be watching and the woman will stop breathing. She will die with the baby in her stomach. There is a type of wickedness in the heart of a black man that makes you wonder who actually made these people. After many years of considering the way we behave and the way we react, God Almighty formed IPOB and said you cannot reason like those people. For me to love you, for you people to have the freedom that I promised you, your job is not to set yourself free. Your job is to liberate the thinking capacity of an average black person all over the world. That is your job. That is the duty of Biafra. That is why I have sent you to come. That is the reason why somebody, I don't know if they have stopped. I don't know if they have stopped. You know, I think we are back again. I think they stopped me very briefly there, broadcasting on my. That's what they keep doing, to stop us from doing what Elohim have asked us to do. They have failed and will continue to fail. Fulani came into our land because of that same thing in a black man. When you see evil happening, you keep quiet. Because the Fulanis came and took over the house, and Hausa themselves helped them to take over other people's land. Because of that, when it came to Biafra, the only people that can defend all of you, I say without apologies, everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Without Biafra, you are gone. Without Biafra, you are finished. Fulani will take your land from you and kill you in the process. You know what they did? They ganged up against Biafra. They ganged up against anybody trying to speak the truth. They killed Delegiwa, an honest man, the only journalist I know in the history of Nigeria, the only journalist I've ever known is Delegiwa. The rest are all rubbish. You can buy it. After a while, you buy them over, all of them are all rubbish. Pure bunk of rubbish. Village idiots. Delegiwa stood on the path of the truth. Babangida killed Delegiwa. Everybody knows this. Babangida today is an elder statesman. People defer to his opinion. He's a murderer. He is a killer. You know that Babangida is a killer. You know that very well. He killed Delegiwa because Delegiwa was exposing all the things they were doing. All the fraud with MPN and Fujro. All the things, all the evil things. Even Julius Berger. Nobody will respect that man. He's in heaven, of course. They killed him. Delegiwa was fighting for a better life for everybody in Nigeria. They killed him. Nigerians did nothing. Nothing. That is part of that punishment that you're suffering now at the hands of these murderers from the Sahel. Do you think that God will forget? People, they go to all these churches and they sing, they jump up and down. They don't even actually understand who God is or how God operates. They have no idea. Isn't it very funny? The more churches you build, the more mosques you build, the more difficult things become. Have you not noticed it? The more churches you have, claiming you have miracle centers, the more difficult things become for you. Because you are in a period of perdition. I told you in 2015 that Somalia will be better than Nigeria. I am telling you, if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, go and apply for it now. If you have not applied for your visa to Somalia, because Somalia is hell, that is better than, it's going to be way better than the zoo. Because when you people see evil, you condone it. And that evil has come to you. Now you are going to discover, as they say, you are about to see something you have never seen before. They came down to our land. They came down to all the way from across the Sahel to rig election in a land that doesn't belong to them. Fulani owns no land in Nigeria. They own nothing. They are visitors. And all of you are there just they're afraid of them. Oh, don't say something. Oh, please don't say anything. Oh, if you say something, don't say something. All of them, I'm just looking at people and laughing at you. Typical cowardly, wretched black people. You cannot stand up against people. They don't even have the numbers. They don't have. All they are doing is that they are boasting in the media because they control it. They can give money to a useless Yoruba newspaper editor to publish junk and he will write for them. That's all they rely on. If you scratch the surface, you see that they are nothing. They don't have the numbers. They don't have the strength in depth. They don't have the know-how to defeat all of us. Once we are united, impossible. It is impossible to defeat. Impossible. Now, Yoruba and Igbo are now together. Unbreakable. The bonds we forged are unbreakable. Unbreakable. The East and the West, unbreakable. Imagine when we add middle belts to it, what is going to happen? Do you think anybody can stop us? They'll stop breaking. Even if it's before, all of you will be joined. Bring that food blockade, the food, bring it on, let us see. Are they not the ones now crying and saying, our goods are perishing, let's move food to the south? Who is begging you? Who is begging you, I'm asking? Janjaweed, who is begging you? Fulani people are not even farmers. You see how cunning? You see, they think they're smart. Are they farmers? The only thing that Fulani people do, or what every day, is to move cattle and to occupy political office, military, politics, and moving cattle all over the place. Who are they known to be farmers anywhere? If they're farmers, why would Jonathan set up a nomadic school for them? Or should I say nomadic schools for them? Why would Jonathan do a thing like that? Why, I ask you? These are some of the very pertinent questions you need to mull over every blessed day to understand the hopelessness of your situation and why you must do something urgently, if not to rescue other people, but to at least rescue your family by reasoning right. Try to reason properly. That's what we're asking you to do. How can you have, should I say, 180 million people to be overrun by people who are not up to 20 million? How is that possible? Because all of you are cowards. They get you to fight one another. They raise idiots and traitors amongst you, and you allow them to live. And the more you allow them to live, they become emboldened. They give them some chicken change. They buy houses in Abuja, they are maybe in Lagos, or they start building hotels here and there. And after a while, they now grow wings. They now think that they are opinion leaders. And they have willing allies in Yoruba media. Willing allies in Yoruba. You know, sometimes I even think that some of these people, you know, they are possessed. They don't even know what they're doing. I'm telling you, they have no idea what they're doing. They are possessed. Because you cannot, Yoruba land is under occupation. Yoruba forests have been taken over by Fulani Janjaweed. Yet you have a Yoruba newspaper editor in Lagos, Yoruba for that matter, still trying to defend the Fulani presidency in Asorok. You know, sometimes I struggle to understand. You know, when I pray something, I say to Elohim, are you sure you created these people in your image? They said, let's create man. You know, are you sure these black people, they were made in your image? Because I have never seen such levels of stupidity ever before. Yoruba land is under occupation. They have taken over Pasaboyo. They have taken on those states. Yet you have a Yoruba newspaper editor in Punch, in Nation, in Tribune, writing in favor of the government that have just taken over their land. Lord God have mercy. Are you following me? They came from all over the place to take your land and have taken it. You can't do nothing about it unless you support IPOB, unless you support Eastern Security Network. That is your only savior. Your only savior, morning, noon, and night. IPOB will save all of you. That was why it was very, very critical for the Fulani. Britain told them, go and prescribe IPOB. Now, do it. They said, do it. No, do it now. To stop them from growing. Because their influence is growing. Do you know why they demonized IPOB before all of you and the stupid, idiotic Yoruba newspaper editors went along with it? Because that is their game plan. They always divide you. They sow seeds of doubt in the minds of people so that you end up hating those that have come to save you. You know, that's a very subtle thing that, you know, Western intelligence use in Africa, and it works perfectly well. In Africa, if you are a redeemer in Africa, those you are coming to save will end up hating you. They will hate you because there are some units within Western intelligence against Europe. That is their job. Their job is to make sure that anybody who comes out to save the people, that the people he's trying to save will hate him or hate her. That's how we are. And the black people are very, very easy to manipulate. They manipulate them. They start hitting those that came to save them. Everybody knew that what Ojukwu went to. Every day I talk about Ojukwu and Aburi Accord. Everybody knows that Ojukwu went to Aburi Accord to go and negotiate for regionalism, for restructuring, the same restructuring they are now begging for. The same restructuring. But when they came back, nobody told, Britain never allowed the people to understand what Ojukwu went for. They said, oh, he's a rebel, he's a rebel, he's a rebel. Today you are begging for the same thing that Ojukwu fought for. And over 5 million Biafrans died for. You are still begging. And you want to wait for a Fulani man to wake up one morning and say, okay, now, you know, they claim they are northerners. We northerners, we are now satisfied. Come, let us renegotiate Nigeria. Can you imagine such rubbish? What an insult to the entire South and Middle Belt. What an insult. What an insult. They don't talk up to 1,000 people. The government and all of you that sheepishly, what about Nigeria, the unity of our country? And I have said it anyway, allow me to repeat. You know, the level of stupidity I have seen in black people, believe you me, that was the reason why I said to God in heaven, in my next life, I don't want to be a black person. Because of the level of stupidity I see in an average black person. Now, do you know that today, the news broke, I put it on my Facebook page, they allow me to do that, but not to broadcast. Do you know that today, the new president of the United States of America, Joe Biden, called African leaders but did not call whoever they claim is in Asoro. Because there's nobody there. Absolutely nobody. The foreign affairs was supposed to know that this man is going to make this call and batch his call through. Nigeria is meant to be the number one to call in Africa. Is that not correct? They called other people. They didn't call the one from Abuja in Nigeria. And I said to God, but you gave human beings, even animals, common sense to be able to use it to reason. Ask yourself, why was it that Biden did not call Abuja to speak to whoever they claim is Buhari? Because Biden knows that there is no Buhari. But it's not the job of America to tell you that. It knows there is no Buhari. But it's, even if you think that there is a Buhari in Asrock, why is it that common things, simple things that the president does, simple common things that the president can do, how come your own is not doing it? Common simple things that the president is supposed to do, how come your own is not doing it? They were burying military men that died in an air crash a few meters from Asarok, and you claim Buhari is a military man, a general, and he's inside Asarok. He did not attend the funeral. All these things are raging, school children being kidnapped. Common national broadcast. Common national broadcast. They couldn't do. Instead, you have a country where the vice president is missing, and all of you know this. And they are telling us that anything that Femi Adesina says or Garbachev says, considered to be the president talking. Are you people that stupid? Are you no hold on? Are you people that foolish? Does it mean that black people are so useless to the point that they can no longer reason properly? Even a rat can reason better. Do you know that ordinary bees, and bees, the where you get your honey from? Even worse, do you know once the queen becomes very weak and can no longer perform in that role, they kill the queen. They take the queen out, throw it away, and bring in another person, groom another queen to take over. Because you have a president, so you claim. The person cannot fulfill the duties and functions of a president. Why then do you still have that person in power? Because there is nobody in power. What Fulani did cleverly is this. They dangled the promise of presidency in front of Tinubu. And we black African people, being who we are, insatiable and greedy, devoid of honor, they accepted it hook, line, and sinker. Because of the promise of 2023 presidency, please do not announce that Buhari is no more. They went into their blood contract, they signed it. That is why EFCC can case Tinubu and Tinubu can no longer talk. Because he is part of the plot. And when you tell them that Fulani can never love them, they say, oh, we are Muslim, I'm Tinubu, I'm a Muslim, they will love me. What happened to Abiola? Because you people don't know history. You don't have regard for history. Abiola was a Muslim, a very popular Yoruba politician, a successful businessman. They did not give it to him. What makes you to think they'll give it to Tinubu? Are you people insane? Can't you reason very well? Oh, dear me. Now, EFCC is looking for him. They're looking for him. He is in one almighty mess. Another one gone. After using him and his TV station and his e-rats and his newspapers to demonize IPOB. Can you imagine what could have happened had the Yoruba people risen up, Yoruba media, to say when IPOB was proscribed or that kangaroo judgment delivered, had Yoruba newspapers got up to say, no, this is wrong. Do you think today they'll be flooding their forests? A simple question. The time that all these conspiracies were going on against IPOB, the Yoruba media said, what you are doing to IPOB is wrong. They have not killed anyone. They did nothing wrong. Those with AK-47, why don't you proscribe them? Had they consistently made that very argument, they wouldn't have proscribed IPOB. And with that, Fulani cannot be in their land. But because they failed to do that which is right, that is why today their young people are fighting very bravely to rid their land of Fulani people. Because those people in the middle belt, they kept quiet. They told them, Igbo man is your problem. Biafra is your problem. They want to secede. They want to divide. They want to dismember Nigeria. You believe their lies, yeah? Today, where is your village? What is your faith today? You believe in all the nonsense they were feeding you. Today, where are you? Where is your village? They fed Benjamin the same garbage. Ojuku is your problem. It was Benjamin that killed Ironsi. An Igbo man. Where is his village today? He's the one now screaming and shouting. Defend yourself. Oh dear me, I don't know when these people will have acquire some sense. But we are preaching the gospel of heaven. They came from all over the place. And to make matters worse, Nigeria is a very funny place. And Nigerians are one of the funniest people on this earth. And I categorize them as one of the most foolish people to have ever existed. Colonialism, imperialism, and even neocolonialism have done a lot of damage to black people. But the damage that it did to the brain of an average Nigerian is worse. An average Nigerian cannot reason like a human being. Every time I come on air, I say this. Once you say, I am a Nigerian, I write you off as a human being. You're an animal to me. And I have my reasons. And here's one of them. Do you know who is the presidency? Let me now make it sound very childish, as if we're in a nursery school. Let us start from kindergarten, because people no longer reason very well in the zoo. I don't know if it's hardship, I don't know what it is. In Nigeria, people don't reason like human beings. They reason like animals. Even animals are better than them. And I'll tell you the reason why. Once I push you, I'll show you where you're going to fall. Do you know presidency is the group of people, in this case the cabal, running Nigeria. They call themselves presidency. They have now come out today. When did this news break? The news broke today, March the 3rd. They have come out today to confirm the 2017 report of helicopters supplying arms to headsmen in Delta State. They used helicopters to supply arms to headsmen in Kaduna State, courtesy of the governor of the state, El Rufai and Buratai in the army. The same thing they did in 2017 to Delta. Do you know today that there is no fly zone? I don't know if are people actually following the news. Do you know that today that this same presidency announced that there is no fly zone in Zamfara? Do you know why? That they are using aircraft to supply arms to Fulani bandits. Hey, maybe English is not enough to explain this. I don't know what to do. But let me read it for you. As a rock, the Fulani presidency may have unwittingly confirmed a 2017 allegation that helicopters are being used to ferry arms to Fulani headsmen. All of you know it. You know what pains me the most? Whoever is the news editor in channel television, they know this. AIT, they are aware. Everybody, you know all of these things. Then why are you trying to defend what is indefensible? How can you defend one Nigeria when a presidency, the president himself, have marked all of you out for destruction, or those running the zoo in his name because the idiot is dead? If you doubt me, then ask Biden why he didn't call Buhari then, because my parents are dead. Am I going to call them on the phone? I still have my my father's number on my phone. I've not deleted them. They're still there. Although I have them, am I going to call my mom and my dad? It's not possible, because I know they won't answer. The living don't call the dead. That's why Biden did not call for any Buhari, a so-called giant of Africa. Are you people not paying attention? Are you not? Does it mean that you don't listen, or you don't reason, or you don't? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you people? I ask you. This same behavior you're putting up now is the reason why Fulani killers are in your forest. But why you cannot understand that is beyond me. This same attitude, this same non-chant and this same attitude of, the way he's talking to us, we don't like it. But okay, maybe you like the way that the Fulani are raping your people in the bush, or how they took over your land. Do you like that one? Do you love it? A very simple question. The time now is 3 minutes to the top of the hour. Wherever you are, it's a live presentation. I am preaching the gospel of heaven. Heaven will give me message and I pass to the living. That's my job. Heaven will give me message, and it is my duty and responsibility to pass that to those who are living. Now listen. A statement came from Asorok by Malam Garba Shehu, the new president of Nigeria. Him and Femi Adesina, they're not sharing it, which means that their end has come. The end has come. The senior special assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity said there was strong suspicion that choppers were being used to carry arms to Fulani bandits in Zamfara State. Choppers, where did they get the military aircraft from? So does it mean that the radars are not working in the north? I'm saying this for the benefit of Yoruba media practitioners, especially channels. Punch newspaper and not the rest of them. You people, you are directly, I'm saying, you people, you are directly responsible for the mayhem that the Fulanis have brought upon everybody in the zoo. You are pursuing money because they were giving, APC was giving money to John Momo. He's dead now. All of you, your guy will tell you, if you don't support them now, how are you going to get your salary? Let me ask Channels Television something. You people think we are stupid, don't you? Channels TV, every viable news network in the world survives with advertisement. How many of you has ever seen Channels TV advertise consistently? If you watch CNN now, after every 15 minutes, or 13 minutes, you see advert. People are paying for it. NBC the same thing, ABC the same thing, Fox News the same, everywhere, Newsmax the same. They survive on advertising. BBC that doesn't do advertising, they survive by taking money tax from TV license payers in the UK and grant from the, I think it's the overseas, I think it's from the culture minister, culture whatever. I'm no longer sure. Have you seen any adverts? How many times have you seen adverts on Channels TV? How much did they get from advert? Now the question is this: where do they get their money from to pay their staff and to keep the station going? They get it from the government. That's the only way to do it. There are no license fee payers in Nigeria. People don't pay TV license in Nigeria. People are not advertising. So where do you get your money from? Before that, PDP was funding AIT. Now APC is funding Channels Television. That's why you only have 2 major TV stations in the zoo, essentially. The rest is on contract. If you have something to say, you pay them and they stream it for you. You have wedding, you pay them money, they come, they stream it live. Where does Channels TV get their money from? From the government. So they must always toe the government line. And these are journalists. We are led to believe. Do you see how your problems are multiplying in the zoo? Even those you are relying upon to save you cannot save you. You run to your pastor, and your pastor is more interested in building the next 10 million capacity auditorium. What is happening to you? He doesn't want to know. How many of your pastors have spoken against the occupation of our forests by these aliens from the Sahel? How many, I ask you, how many? I'm sure on Sunday you go and pay your tithe and your offering. Garuba Shehu, senior special assistant to Muhammadu Buhari, who is now dead, of course, said that they're using army helicopters to bring arms to bandits. Fulani controlled army, supplying arms and equipment to Fulani bandits from across the Sahel. And you're still talking about one Nigeria, as if your brain is not correct. Maybe, you know, sometimes to be honest with you, some days I get so upset that I want to say to Elohim, allow me to ask IPOB to go to sleep. Dissolve ESN. Say to IPOB, no more activities, no more agitation, go arrest for 2 years. So that Fulani can come and do suya with some of our people who are so foolish. If not for IPOB, there will be no Nigeria. What you have today is Islamic Republic of Nigeria. Islamic. They write it there. Nothing will happen. It's us that have been holding the fort, holding the line. And what did they do? They connive with the same people we are fighting to save, to proscribe IPOB. Illegally, of course. Do you know that today they went to court to discuss the prosecution of IPOB? Our case at appeal court. For how many years now? 2017, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, nearly 4 years. In a country that wants to be regarded or taken seriously as a nation. For 4 years. Somebody did you wrong, you went to court. And you've now gone to appeal a legal decision that criminalized an entire nation. For 4 years, they've not had the case. Do you know what happened today? I never knew the case was coming up today. So this morning, of course, as always, I was led in the spirit, and I decided to write about the proscription of IPOB using an old newspaper headline from Authority, that the fact that IPOB activities are not unlawful, yes. Do you know what happened in Abuja today? Today was the day they were meant to hear the case of the proscription of IPOB and tagging us a terrorist group in Abuja, Federal Appeal Court of Nigeria in Abuja today. And what happened? As soon as they read that very publication I made, but I think I did it both on Facebook and on Twitter, everybody ran away from the court today. Go and ask if you have any lawyer in Abuja. Ask them. They all ran away. The court did not sit again today because they were hiding it. You know, before when they want to call my case, they say, "Oh, we have 100 witnesses willing to testify," because they know that the tagging of IPOB as a terrorist organization is flawed both before man and God, even in their JUL laws. They were hiding it. I don't know what told me. I don't know. Something just, I said, I wrote it, and they ran away from the court. No, the Appeal Court of Nigeria did not sit today in Abuja because there was an IPOB file in the case, in the docs that were meant to be listened or heard today. This is how powerful we are. Because the judges, they assembled, 7 of them, they have gone through the files. Once they saw IPOB versus federal government of Nigeria, they dropped it. They said the court is now dismissed. Everybody should go home. Ask some senior advocates in Abuja today. Those that went to appeal court, did the appeal court sit today or not? Normally when a court is not going to sit, somebody will come out and announce that the registrar or the clerk or whoever will announce that the reason why the court won't sit. They just want everyone to run away. That IPOB file is here in the court. Ask everybody that went to appeal court today in Abuja, Wednesday, the 3rd of March. What happened? Were you given any reason why you had to run away from the court? They will tell you no. For the first time in the history of the zoo. That's how powerful we are. That is the reason why they don't want to bring that very case to come up to appeal. Because they know you cannot proscribe people asking for a referendum. Is not possible. They know that during the arguments, people will ask, perhaps 1 or 2 media houses will carry it, and people will ask, why have you not proscribed Miyetti Allah and Fulani killers? They hastily, they didn't even adjourn it. They said that everyone should go away, and they all ran away from the court. That is how powerful we are. And that is to tell you that what Elohim is doing in our lives. God brought IPOB to save all of you. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're Robo, you're Yoruba, you're TV, you're Kanuri, you're Nupe, Yukun. It doesn't matter who you are. Bachama, it doesn't matter who you are. Biram, it doesn't matter who you are. IPOB came to save all of you. But I may disagree with his style. What can I do? You want the style of a Fulani headsman raping your mother? Is that the style you like?
If you have value for them,
here you have your presidency. Here you have.
If you understand what I'm saying, go and try it on the Fulani women. Go. If you want to understand what I'm saying, go to Britain, attack their women and rape them. Come to the US, attack their women and rape them. Go to Italy, attack their women and rape them. In the next hour or two, you will know what the law is. And you will be exiled permanently, driven away. It will become the headline news for the next week. Spread across the screen internationally. The Africans are raping. Dra, dra, dra. So the Africans will feel the heat, even if you're not a rapist. For the fact that you bear the heading African men, the taboo is on your back. That will tell you the gravity of your action. How is taken. Are we addressing human beings or are we addressing animals? Who are we addressing? Are the people we are addressing understand the implications of their actions? For them to come to your village, your community, attack your community, and rape the women, sodomize them, and kill them. The federal government says nothing. The local police says nothing. The men nowhere to be seen. And your women defenseless. And you're saying one Nigeria. Based on what? Based on what? Happening now in Onitsha, Igboeze. Serious tension going on in Onitsha local government area of Ebonyi State as armed Fulani herdsmen attacked people, killed and raped a lady who is from Amapro in Onitsha, Igboeze. According to eyewitness report, this happened between Ababo and Onitsha, Igboeze. And your comment, this is getting out of control. Golochukwu made a comment. The said location is where our gallant men evacuated Fulani herdsmen last year after the official launching of ESN. It is a suburb area with vast land mass bordering three communities. It's an area of vast landmass bordering three communities: Oshiri, Onitsha, Igboeze, and Aboebo. The Fulanis have made it their safe haven and an enclave from where they carry out attack and operations years before the emergence of the great warrior. Yes, if possible, there should be urgent deployment of ESN operatives to this area to curtail the encroachment of the Fulani cow into our rice and cassava farms. And we look at it. Engineer made a comment saying, not up to 2 weeks ago, a man was killed in the same way, still in a Ababo. A lot has been happening in Isuokoma recently. We need help. And Chukwemeka said, and the man is there fighting with a woman for election. Too bad. I said, if Benketa are not there to hunt them, thunder strike, and God will punish them. And then if I Chuku, your comment is well taken. We must come out and protest. Who are you protesting to? Are you protesting to the Fulani? Are you protesting to the local government officials? Or are you protesting to your thieves and your Igwes and Ezes? Who are you protesting to? When you fail to act, you say you're protesting. Even the protest, if you call the protest, they will not have the gusto to come out to protest. Some will duck behind. And you don't want your Fulani friend to see you. And you don't want to see the politician that you promised the election to see you. That you are fed up. And then, Blessing says the youth should not allow them to escape. To escape, and then, our people should wake up. I'm not seeing any gun or knife